Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. What if there were a roadmap, an XRP roadmap, that lets you know when new highs were going to happen and when it would make sense to buy or sell? What if you had such a map? Well, I would like to argue that effectively such a roadmap does exist. And look, here's the thing too, and I want to bring this point home. I'll say it right here at the outset. Investing in general in stocks and crypto, in my humble opinion, is not that complex, or at least it shouldn't be. It really is. If you want to find success, the data shows you buy and you hold. And so that's why, in particular, if you take a look at the stock market, the reason that strategy has historically worked so well is if you're just buying an index of funds and you hold it over a long period of time. I mean, unless you're betting against the entire United States economy going away, then it's just going to keep going up. And so it's similarly with crypto. Even if you're not buying an actual index, there aren't a lot of funds for typical retail speculators out there that do such. Accredited investors, that's one thing. But even if you just buy a large basket of cryptocurrencies and you just set it and forget it, you've then got exposure to the asset class, so it effectively does the same thing. It does. And so what you're betting on there, in my opinion, like for the people that are doing that, it's the long-term viability of the asset class. It's not that all of the cryptocurrencies are going to continue existing. Similarly with a stock market index, you buy an index fund, and it doesn't mean that every company within the fund is going to do well. It doesn't mean they're all going to stay in business, but on the whole, it will perform well. Well, that's the same way that I look at crypto here. And so for the people that are just selling crypto like in its entirety or not participating, I'm like, you're betting against the long-term viability of the asset class. And I don't pretend to know exactly which cryptocurrencies will have long-term viability. I'm willing to bet that a bunch of cryptocurrencies that I do hold now, because I hold a couple dozen, are probably going to go to zero. They'll go extinct, the way of the dodo, my favorite avian creature. So I want to talk about that and the fact that, man, Bitcoin and XRP, these are some truly scarce assets. And if you think that 100 billion XRP is too much, my gosh, I respectfully disagree and will say, you ain't know what you talking about, damn it. But look, before going any further, I want to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby, just for fun. That's all that's going on here. As I record this, XRP is at $1.09, Bitcoin is at $55,442, market cap for the asset class $2.37 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance down a bit from the other day, 43.92%. But, man, crypto at the moment looking pretty good. One analyst, I'll be highlighting this in the video as well, thinks that we could be seeing a short-term pullback before the continuation of the rally upwards. And I'll show you what levels this individual's talking about. So how are the lemmings feeling today? Ah, yes, the typical retail speculator. Feeling pretty damn good, all things considered. Yesterday, they were at, this is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, yesterday they're at 76 out of 100, indicating they're feeling extreme greed. And of course, it's funny because a week prior to that, to the day, they were feeling extreme fear. So I just keep saying, like, okay, fly by the seat of your pants, whatever's happening in the moment. Can you imagine living your life like that? Well, these people are. There's so many people, typical retail speculators, whatever's happening in the moment of the price, they're feeling things, and oh my gosh, I'm terrified. Oh my god, I'm euphoric. Oh, I'm terrified again. Oh, I'm euphoric. Oh, it's just like, I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. And so today, they're not in extreme greed today, a little bit lower, now at 74 out of 100. Again, 76 was yesterday, but today 74 out of 100, indicating not extreme greed, but just good old-fashioned regular greed. So either way, they're feeling fantastic here. I love highlighting this stuff. It's a good time here. So here's the core of what I wanted to talk about, which is why I'm talking about it in the beginning portion-ish of this video. And what got me wanting to talk about this was this tweet from DIY Investing. And he wrote the following: if only there was a blueprint for understanding Bitcoin, everyone could follow, no matter the investing knowledge or lack thereof. Life-changing wealth beyond your wildest dreams awaits you. $250,000 Bitcoin incoming. Indeed, and it did make me think to what I was saying about the stock market. You don't need to, investing in the stock market, you don't need to be a wizard. Just like it's kind of just like buy an index fund and then don't do anything for a decade. See how it does for you. The people that get in and out and during the volatility, oh my gosh, the economy's down and people are panicked, blah, blah, blah. Those are the people that don't do well. So much data to prove that. The same human DNA in crypto, so it's obvious that the people that behave like that in crypto, they also don't do well. And so he's being a little sarcastic here, which is not lost on me. If only there was a blueprint for understanding all of this for people that just don't know what they're doing. Well, take a look at this. This is the Bitcoin price action for the entirety of its existence, basically, right here. There you go. This is Bitcoin. And he's showing 3 market cycles, including the one that we're in right now. And so look, I'll keep this up on the screen. I want to say a few things before describing the chart, but you can take a look at it now if you care to while I'm talking here. So look, Bitcoin price action is clearly repeating history. And you can see this if you have eyeballs. You know, it's an undeniable truth that XRP follows Bitcoin because the whole market moves together. This fact is so true that Ripple's attorneys are using this fact as a legal argument in defense of Ripple to prove their actions don't impact the price of XRP, because they're not a common enterprise, so that's important in their legal defense. And they are making this legal argument because it's fact. It's not open to interpretation. It's simply what has happened for the entire existence of XRP, and it's objective fact, not subjective opinion. So the question you should ask yourself is this. Because look, Bitcoin has been doing the same thing for 12 years. In terms of patterns. And so is this the moment, right this second, is this the time where Bitcoin finally stops doing exactly what it's been doing like clockwork for 12 years? As in, we're not going to see a blow-up top. So if you're new to crypto, you should really ask this question. Look at it. That's why I pulled up this chart. Keep looking at the screen here. If you're afraid that we may be right now heading into a bear market, this is why I'm asking this. It's the question that you should be asking this. Is this the moment, for the first time ever in history, where after 12 years, right this second, it just happens to be when you jumped in and you're new to crypto, is this the moment when Bitcoin finally stops doing what it's been doing for 12 years? Does that seem probable? Or does it seem much more likely that Bitcoin will continue doing what it's been doing, given there has been no catalyst to make it reasonable to believe a completely different outcome is now more likely? Look, you can use your eyeballs and your big brain to see that historically, this exact moment in time is the moment immediately preceding a blow-off top. And so look at what's being highlighted on the screen right now on this chart that DIY Investing shared. Noting back to this first market cycle, all-time highs, right? And look what happened right before an all-time high was revisited, where I'm circling right here, if you're looking at the screen. There was, preceding that, the first Bitcoin halving, which cut the Bitcoin block reward in half, which of course immediately impacts supply and demand dynamics. Now, later on, you'll see that the response, and we could talk about the reasons in a different video, but the response to the Bitcoin halving for this current cycle and the one before it, it was even more delayed. I mean, it was a little bit delayed in the first one too, a little bit. But there's a delay before you start to see the market go up as a result of this. And so what happened? The markets go climbing. Here, you can even look at this last market cycle, 2017, 2018 era. What happened after the Bitcoin halving? Well, the market did start going up, and in fairly aggressively, relatively speaking, and then there was a bear trap here. And the market went back down. But then what happened after that? After all these people that emotionally felt things and panic sold, what happened? The blow-off top happened, right here where I'm circling, during the last market cycle, right? And this is what happened in the first market cycle, which is where I'm circling now. It's the same thing. Look at all these all-time highs they on all 3 cycles, getting hit here. And so what is happening this time? And the reason they're 4-year cycles, the theory is, and DIY Investing talks about this all the time, all sorts of people do, it's because the halving it's cyclical. It's roughly every 4 years. It's programmed into the Bitcoin blockchain. Right? And so here you had the blow off the top of near $20,000 for Bitcoin last market cycle. Then you have the bear market, and then the Bitcoin halving, the third Bitcoin halving occurred, and we started trending up, and we got up to right here, where Bitcoin hit its all-time high, close to $65,000, and then there's the bear trap again, and now we're just coming out of that bear trap, and it's the same It's the same formation 3 times in a row. And what do you think is going to happen? Is this the first time we don't see a blow off top? And look, people disagree in terms of how high that blow off top is going to go. That's fine. That's reasonable. But the idea that's not going to happen, I certainly don't subscribe to that. And so who knows? Maybe the blockchain backer's right, and the blow off top only leads to 85,000, which means, visually speaking, it would be the least impressive blow off top in the history of the asset class. But I could still buy the concept, because it's not that things are going to unfold exactly the same. It's not that the market literally repeats exactly the same. It's that it rhymes with itself effectively. And so that's why I would anticipate. So whether it's 85,000 and he's right, or DIY investing's right and it's $250,000 for Bitcoin, and there are all sorts of analysts that are well respected that think it could get up in that range, I don't know who's right. Directionally, they're all saying the same thing. There will be a blow off top right here, and it's coming. And so what do we know about XRP? We know that XRP follows along with the entire asset class, with Bitcoin leading. The market moves in tandem here. And so that's why, for me, like, the idea of XRP not hitting its all-time high in entering price discovery is completely absurd. It's completely absurd to me. It's not a consideration for me. I'm as close to 100% sure of that as I could possibly be. I'm not literally 100% sure of pretty much anything, but I'm pretty damn close. So yeah, at some point, I don't pretend to know exactly when XRP is going to hit its all-time high and enter a new realm of price discovery. It's just a matter of time. And so think about this. If you're looking at this chart, just think visually, what's that going to look like? Which is why, if it's visually going to look somewhat similar to the last couple market cycles, you actually would need to have Bitcoin get closer to that $200,000 to $300,000 price range. Otherwise, it's not visually going to look the same. It'll still be the same rough pattern, even if the blockchain backers are right. But it would be the least impressive blow-off top for Bitcoin we've ever seen. Although even if that happens, even if the blockchain backer is correct, yeah, there's less money to trickle down to other coins, including XRP, but that's still a crazy amount of money. So the multiplier effect for XRP or anything else, it's still going to be very dramatic. It's what we've been waiting for, and it's all coming. Just a matter of time. We just have to continue to be patient, which is why, for me, my entire strategy is to do nothing. I don't overthink this. There's nothing magic about it. I don't have a course to sell, and I'm never going to. In all likelihood, I can't imagine. Like, first of all, I'm not really interested in technical analysis, like learning it and tracking it on a day-to-day myself. I like following the market, don't get me wrong. That stuff just doesn't sound like a particular fun time to me. I appreciate that other people actually enjoy it. I like following the news and all that stuff, and the developments, and analyzing, real world adoption, what might take hold. That, to me, that's more fun here. But I still like to stay in tune with this, obviously, which is why I talk about this regularly. And so, my gosh, you guys will have to tell me what you think, but I can't fathom a world, like, not really, where you don't see a blow-off top and soon. And if you look at where we're at right now, we're almost there. So whether it's a month or 2 or 3 or 6, whatever, we're at the tail end of this market structure. It couldn't be more obvious. So if you want an XRP roadmap to new highs, just look at Bitcoin. Look at it right here. It's leading the way, and then XRP in all likelihood will lag behind just a little bit, not dramatically. When it finally goes, it could just be right around that time that Bitcoin blows off, has its blow off top. But it's just a matter of time here. And now take a look at this too. I wanted to just briefly mention the Songbird token here. Somebody who goes by the name Toxic Smoothie on Twitter asked me the following: why is Songbird falling out of the sky like a effing manhole cover? And so at the moment, indeed, Songbird is down. It's down to 44 cents. Its 24-hour high was 58 cents. So there you go. Down, somewhere in the neighborhood of what? It's a little shy of 25% right there. And so here was my response to that. I wrote, there's no fundamental reason. It's just normal retail speculators moving the price of one of the most illiquid cryptocurrencies on the planet. It doesn't take much money going in or out to move the price, and currently this is the only Songbird market on the entire planet. Yeah, so that's true, but just wait. Just wait, because when this coin gets listed in other markets, things are going to go nuts. Take a look at this headline. I don't really want to read the article, so I'm not going to. It's not particularly relevant, not the specifics of like the coin that's covered here, but the headline's relevant from the Daily Hodl. Obscure crypto asset explodes 155% after receiving burst of support from Binance. There's some coin I've never heard of called Radicle, or RAD for short. Went from $9.34 to $23.85, 155% increase after the announcement. And so right now, Songbird's traded on one exchange on the entire planet. You just wait. You wait until it gets listed on even more exchanges, and especially some of the bigger name ones. Money rushes in. People won't even know what the hell it is. They're going to be speculating on it, though. It's not going to matter. I'm just going to keep holding my Songbird until I see it rally insanely, and then I'll consider selling it. But not before that. So anyway, I just wanted to mention I'm optimistic. And then there's a tweet thread here. I don't really need to read it. It's on the screen right now, but I just wanted to point out, Credible Crypto mentioned the other day that there's a chance we could see in the short term a pullback for Bitcoin, which would make everything else drop, including XRP. Who knows? Maybe XRP goes down to 80 cents if this happens. I'm not sure. But that's the type of stuff I keep seeing discussed for those analysts that I respect and follow that think it's possible we could see a pullback here. And so he noted what would invalidate this. So if we do see a continuation of Bitcoin around the $56,000 to $58,000 range, then that would invalidate this idea that we're going to see a short-term pullback. So we're still waiting to see, but over the next few days in particular, there is that risk. So I just wanted to have a heads up, because if that does happen, you might feel emotions, and just remember that emotions are stupid. Emotions are stupid, so I just don't have them. I do not have emotions. They're really dumb. Really, it's just what a waste. Moonlight ain't got no damn time for silly-ass emotions here. So anyway, just be aware. Could happen, might not. There you go. And then there was this from the Wizard, crypto chart analyst, shared the following with his 255,000 followers. I feel sorry for all the poor retail noobs that sold all their altcoins at the $30,000 bottom. So he's talking about Bitcoin there. Your favorite bear is now posting $60,000 Bitcoin charts. The irony. I know the names, but I will spare them. Yeah, and so I actually don't know the names of the fake internet gurus that were saying that $30,000 Bitcoin recently that is just going to keep going in that direction, because I don't regularly follow them, but they did pop up in my Twitter feed, and I read their tweets, and I just kind of chuckled. I was like, wow, that person doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. And so, because I just follow the analysts that I found to be mostly right, and surprise, they were right about this too. All of them, actually, that we were going to have a continuation to the upside. I didn't have one analyst that I follow that thought that recent bottom of like $29,000 for Bitcoin, whatever it was, not one of them thought that meant we were in a bear market. But there was no shortage of people that did think that. And so there's a reason I follow the analysts that I follow. It doesn't mean they're always right about everything. Nobody is. But in terms of probability, yeah, they're more right than they are wrong. But yeah, it's certainly true too. Like even whatever it's logical to perceive as probable, it's not the case that everything that's probable will happen. Sometimes the improbable happens, and so it's why this is not about having some sort of perfect track record when it comes to chart analysis. It's just recognizing what's most probable and recognizing that even if you're right and reason, like if you're logically thinking through it properly, it doesn't mean that what you think is probable will occur 100% of the time. That's just not the way life works. But yeah, indeed. So it is funny to see these analysts now that we're bearish now because the market's back up. They're saying, oh yeah, $60,000 Bitcoin incoming. Okay, guys. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Pintoshi. It won't be long until every person who's ever bought Bitcoin is in profit, and everyone who sold or has doubted it is underwater. History repeats. The supply is 21 million for Bitcoin, yet 100 million plus will want more exposure in the next 2 to 3 years, whether it be the next country adopting or an exchange-traded fund. Yeah, and so that's very true, actually. So right now, the estimate is that somewhere between 200 to 300 million humans on the planet own cryptocurrency, have ever owned cryptocurrency at any point in time. And so that's somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, just call it roughly 3% of humans on the planet. And so think about this. We've already seen the prices of Bitcoin get up to $65,000 with only maybe somewhere in the ballpark of 3% of humans haven't ever bought it. So if you're like me and you think crypto is here to stay, what does that tell you about in terms of supply and demand? Like, where is this going? Because even with the fact, I think, it can't be a fact yet. Even with the likely outcome of this being a bubble that's inflating and popping and will probably crash 80 to 90%, even so, it doesn't matter. Like, we've seen these bubbles pop before and we still just trend upwards. So, like, I believe that the trend is going to continue to climb upwards despite major pullbacks. And so what does that mean the next time that the market rallies after the incoming bear market? Like, what do you think? And same for XRP. XRP is very scarce. 100 billion? I don't care if that number sounds big to you. That's an unsophisticated way of looking at this. How about the fact that there's a max supply of 100 billion XRP? And despite that, with just a fraction of a percentage of humans on the planet having ever purchased XRP and held it at any point in time, it still ran up to almost $4 a few years ago. How about that? What does that tell you? With a fraction of a percent of humans in existence having ever held XRP, it ran up to $4. So if indeed XRP is going to have long-term viability, my gosh, these prices are nothing. There's almost no XRP on the planet. There's not enough XRP on the planet for people, not at these prices anyway. And then there's this from chart analyst Will Clemente. An estimated 38.2% of Bitcoin supply is lost. Think about that, folks. Think about that. And then 92% of supply hasn't moved in at least 30 days. 85% of supply hasn't moved in at least 90 days. The scarcity of Bitcoin cannot be overstated. I share that thought. I share that general thought, absolutely. But again, it's true for XRP too. And in fact, deflation is coded into XRP. Deflation isn't coded into Bitcoin. It just has that effect because Bitcoin gets lost, effectively. But that happens to XRP too, and then there's less available to never get out. It's just lost in wallets forever. But it's actually also coded into XRP. Not that I'm overstating the importance of that, but it is. Deflation is coded into XRP. There's not enough XRP for people at these low prices. So I couldn't be more optimistic, folks. Congratulations for being here. It's like so many people, you basically just won the lottery. Almost no humans on the planet know about this stuff, and here we are, not just talking about crypto or Bitcoin, but having dug into XRP and understanding it's taking hold, there's real-world adoption, and there's a chance that it really could have serious long-term viability for decades to come, if not longer. And here we are, fortunate enough to be in this space. Doesn't mean we're right about everything we suspect will unfold. We can't be right about anything, but no one is, and that's okay. It's just you're doing the right thing, trying to work through this and think through it as the market's figuring this stuff out, of course. And that's why I'm not 100% sure that Bitcoin or XRP will have long-term viability. I'm not. But at the moment, there's reason to be confident, for sure. To me, that makes logical sense to have that optimism, and so I most certainly do. And even outside of long-term viability, even if you just want to forego talking about that, fine. In the short term, we're in a bull market, and we're about to have a blow-off top. I don't even care at this point. It's not about fundamentals in the short term. But damn, what an exciting time to be alive. Is this not freaking amazing? So there you go. There kind of is a roadmap, isn't there, after all? We just have to be aware of how humans have behaved and what that's resulted in terms of price action. And then, for me at least, I'm just responding accordingly, anticipating humans more or less to do the same thing. And it's so the uncertainty. Where's the uncertainty in that? It's that I don't know exactly what the numbers will be. I'm just saying in a general sense, I'm counting on humans doing the same damn stuff they've been doing forever, which has been my bet ever since I entered XRP and crypto. I remember thinking, when the bubble fully inflated for XRP, the top was January 4th, 2018, hit almost $4. Shortly after that, it popped, and I just thought, okay, well, this might take a while. Maybe we're going to see some downward price action for years, but I believe it will inflate again. And so that's why after the price massively crashed, I started dollar cost averaging in, and for years on end, I regularly purchased XRP, including some bigger purchases a little bit over a year ago. And that's it. It's just accumulate, sit, and wait while other people just are just going to act emotionally and not know what they're doing. And even more people don't even know this exists, which is kind of sad and unfortunate. So, yay us, we win. But I'll go ahead and wrap up here. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.